Hello, Jenny here.
A few years ago, much of my life shifted. I became quite ill from topical steroid withdrawal. Overnight, I went from active and independent to homebound, in pain, exhausted, and unable to work. During this recovery period, a long-term relationship ended. I was caregiving for a loved one. Another loved one passed suddenly, and the safe housing I needed for recovery was no longer available for me. These past 3 years have pulled me into deep identity realignment. Layers of who I thought I was fell away. Titles, expectations, the boxes I tried so hard to fit into. I had spent years in unaligned spaces, pouring my energy to maintain peace and becoming who I believed I needed to be for others. I was completely burnt out, with no peace in that disconnected from myself state. My world got small, slow, and quiet. There was no space left for anything that took away from my healing. I started listening to my body's cues and placing them above what society told me I should do. I faced truths I had been avoiding and reflected on how far I had drifted from the spark of light I once carried. Letting go of old identities has been uncomfortable. However, it has made room for clarity, honesty, and choice. These breaking points became a great doorway for me. I have been rebuilding a life that actually meets my needs, and I'm grateful for how I now get to show up in the world. I promised myself I would not return to that place of self-abandonment. Nobody, including the people around me, benefits from that. During this rebuilding phase, I found the Roadmap Rebellion, one of several tools that supported me in creating a venture that fits my current capacity and my commitment to showing up in my integrity. This project's name is SOULSWINGSPACE. It is still early and always evolving, but aligned with my skills, interests, values, gifts, and lifestyle needs, unlike anything that has ever been. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you have a dream or a vision you want to explore. Everything you choose now shapes the direction you are moving your reality into. This course, Roadmap Rebellion, is not created by SoulSwingSpace. SoulSwingSpace shares tools, experiences, and resources for your inner world evolution. We choose to be a reseller because the program structure complements the inner world focus of SoulSwingSpace, and then the Roadmap Rebellion's outer world focus of developing intentional projects. I appreciate that there is a community, that the founders host weekly calls when they can, and I've developed some deep connections with other folks that are purpose-driven. SoulSwingSpace and Roadmap Rebellion are two different entities that harmonize well together. If you're curious about whether this might be a good support for you, know that SoulSwingSpace offers a 7-day refund policy if the purchase you realize is not what you're looking for. Just email your receipt within 7 days to admin@soulswingspace.com for a full refund. And if this is not your moment, but something in you wants to be part of the SoulSwingSpace evolution, sign up for a newsletter. You never know what the future holds, so let's stay connected. I look forward to meeting you one day in some way.